That's the first thing. Everybody's ready. Brandon was talking about this. You go back to your time in Cincinnati,
Yeah.
to stop before Pittsburgh, and then kind of change defenses a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
How much did maybe the fit in Buffalo and what they do defensively, bake into your decision to come in?
I think it was everything really. Just the way they get off the ball, they attack, they penetrate, they get up the field, and that just kind of fits my play style a little more. And just looking at the defense and seeing where I could, be a fit and help was really important. And after we weighed our options, I thought it was a perfect marry-up. And just being able to attack blocks, get on blocks, make plays, splash plays. I think they've led the league in TFLs for a while now, and just watching how they play, I think is awesome. So I'm excited to be a part of it.
So penetrating, you view that in your game?
Yeah, penetrating. Also, I play, I use my hands really well, but being able to kind of marry that up. Certain defenses where you're kind of like sitting on the line is a little difficult to kind of do that, but when defenses are more attacking and letting you move around, letting you get off the ball, I think that just fits my play style a lot better.
And in Pittsburgh, correct me if at least on first and second down, you were kind of a four guy,
Yeah,
right?
4-eye, yeah.
Right.
And
On third down might have been different.
Third down was a little different, but predominantly, especially, when we're playing big run teams like the Ravens or teams that like to go double tight, we're going to be in that 4-eye, or sometimes we might even have an extra D lineman where it's like an arrow, and there might be 5 of us out there. So it kind of depends, but a lot of times it was read and react.
Can you address the PED situation that Brandon told us about?
Yeah, so it was a situation where I don't really know what it was, but I think it was a tainted supplement that I took. But I understand in the league, we have a what's the word I'm looking for? We have an obligation to understand what we put in our body, and I take full responsibility for that. It's easy to try to run around and try to, but it is what it is, and I take full accountability. It was a mistake, it was an accident, and I accept my punishment. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you don't know what it is, and this is one of those cases, but. I think the best thing was to just be honest, and we kind of find out about it while we were finishing the deal. So the timing was kind of crazy with it, but the organization handled it, masterfully. They welcomed me with open arms. They understood the situation. They've treated me with nothing but open arms in class, and I couldn't be more excited to get on that field and support my team and this organization when my suspension is lifted.
But the Bills sort of honoring their word, the verbal agreement. I presume you had a verbal agreement, and the Bills, didn't back out of that.
No, we found out kind of around the same time, and they like I said, they handled it masterfully, and I'm very appreciative. I can't express my gratitude to them.
So kind of take us through the timeline. Like when did you agree, and then how much later did you find out about this?
Practically the same time. Yeah.
So is that on like Wednesday, Thursday, like?
I don't really know the exact specifics per se, but it was just right. Pretty much when we were negotiating, that's pretty much when we were finalizing things, and that's kind of when I got the information. We brought the information to them. They had a decision to make, and I'm still here. So.
Did you have any connection with like anybody on the Bills coaching staff? You ever cross paths with McDermott, or like what? Do you know people here? Was there any connection?
Me and Dion combine trained together. So I've known Dion for years. he's a special guy. So I've known Dion. I know DeMar. I've met Ed a couple of times. Shaq when he was here. Dirty Red, he came to Pittsburgh. So I've heard nothing but good things about Buffalo, and like I said, I'm excited to be a part of this community, this organization, and I'm just looking forward to getting started.
Just to clarify, Brandon said that maybe you were still waiting to hear back on more testing. Is that just to clarify like what happened, or can you talk us through that?
Probably to clarify what happened, but once again, I think the best thing to do is just to accept it. Accept the suspension and not have to do a whole bunch of running around, because at the end of the day, it's my obligation to know what I put in my body. Even if it's a tainted supplement, it's still my responsibility to know. And you gotta deal with the consequences, and that's me dealing with the consequences. There's no way to. A lot of times you can kind of run around and try to figure it out, but I feel like it was just a lot cleaner, just more honest to just do what I do.
How nerve-wracking was that conversation getting here and then telling the GM that?
It wasn't nerve-wracking because I'm a person that my parents always told me about character, and I think being honest and being upfront about things that are going on. And when I had a conversation, Brent, it was honest, it was clear, it's concise. It sucks to sit there, you're here and you come to sign, and then I don't know if you all know, but I had a situation in Chicago, where I was supposed to sign a deal, and they kind of backed out the deal because of my injury. So it's one of those things where you kind of have those feelings again. But I've been a big person that everything happens for a reason, and everything's working together for my good. So I felt like just being upfront about it and letting God figure it out for me, and He did. I'm here in front of you guys, a part of an amazing team. I'm part of an amazing organization that I want to impact in an amazing way. So.
Pittsburgh has, never had a losing season in forever or whatever it is. Coming to Buffalo, obviously about what do you think about coming to a team that's been in the playoffs for 5 years in a row, and just what are your view of the Bills' talent?
It's exciting. A lot of times when it's on SportsCenter or the highlights, the Bills are always somewhere in there, and just to be on this side is it feels very good because I've been on the other side, when it's not so good, and they're striking up the band and Bills Mafia is cheering, and you're kind of like, and you got to walk back to the sideline. So there's amazing talent on this team, but I think the thing that stands out the most to me is just the environment. The energy when you walk in the building, the community. People here are just so nice, so friendly. They're very open, very welcoming, and it's just awesome. You know what I'm saying? When you're in a workplace in an environment where you feel like people move with love and they care about you and they want to see you do your best, I think the results are evident. You guys, like you said, you've been in the playoffs for the last 5 years, and playing at a super high level, and I think it's just a testament to not only the players and the staff, but the community that's around them.
You mentioned where this team has been the last couple of years.
Yeah.
You're one of 3 defensive line additions. They're kind of rebuilding this defensive line a little bit, supplementing the talent they have.
Yeah.
How confident are you that you can be kind of an answer there, especially in the games that matter in January?
I'm excited, man. I feel like I can definitely help. This team reminds me. I remember when we were in Cincinnati. We had that Super Bowl run, and the defense is very similar to what I played in Cincinnati, and the success I had in Cincinnati was, exciting. And just to be a part of a decent where we can attack, we can get upfield, and then you have a bunch of key players. You got Greg, you got Joey, you got Ed, guys that are just, you have a great defensive front. So it's like just putting my hand in the pile is very important. And now you have to give offenses, they got to kind of pick their poison. And I think that's, exciting, especially when you got, the quarterback that we got, it definitely helps, 100%.
Speaking of the quarterback, you were All-Defensive Man of the Year nominee. You were at the NFL Honors.
Yes.
You watched Josh Allen's speech. Now that's your teammate.
Yeah. I always say God has a funny sense of humor. And, like I said, I'm extremely blessed. I'm blessed to be in front of you guys, given the circumstances. It's awesome. You know what I'm saying? And to be able to see when Dion introduced him and all that, and it's just, life is so full circle. Because I remember Dion when we were at combine training and just watching him grow and blossom into the person that he is today. It's just been amazing. And then to see him on that stage, to talk about his quarterback and to do his little dance moves and all that kind of good stuff, it was just awesome to see. And once again, it's one thing to see it, but then to get here and then to feel it, I think is another thing entirely. And I felt the energy, I felt the vibe. I knew this was somewhere I wanted to be. I was a little apprehensive at first because I didn't really get to talk to anybody, when we were first trying to make the decision. But when I got here, I went to Giancarlo's, had a great time there, got some good food, and the rest has been history. The vibe has been amazing. The energy has been amazing, and I'm super excited to be a part of this.
You got to talk to Dion since?
No, not yet, because everything that's been going on, I've kind of been just chilling. But definitely once, all this, is over with, I'll be able to kind of reach out to everybody, and, the positive vibes will be good. So I'm excited.
Your parents are from Nigeria, and
Yes.
you do a lot of community service. Do you like to work with immigrant communities and wherever you
yeah.
play?
Yeah, so we did something. My dad went back probably 2 months ago, and donated a whole bunch of hospital beds and supplies on my behalf to one of the hospitals in our community back home. I did something in Pittsburgh not too long ago called Neighborhood with refugees and people who are, kind of getting replaced into different communities in Pittsburgh. So a bunch of different countries, different places. But, we did a dinner. We did a little give away, you know, give them a gift card and things of that nature. But anything I can really do in the community has been super important to me, just because I think our impact is far stretched beyond the football field. And, you know, it's not about what you do, it's how about you make people feel. And I think that's super big for me. So,
Is that something you're looking forward to in a new community?
of course, I've heard. I also know Harrison Phillips, and I've seen the stuff that he did here when he was playing. And once again, like, I'm just super excited. You know, Bills Mafia is one of those fan bases where, like, you hate them if you're going against them, but I know you love them if you know if they're cheering for you. And just to be a part of this community and see what I can do and how I can impact, and, you know, meeting all the kids and, you know, all the organizations that I can impact, I'm super excited to be a part of it. Thank you, guys. No problem.